everyone. I am Norie Gonzalez Garza, and I am your mayor here at the City of Mission. And today we have another episode with Mayor Pro Tem Ruben Plata, and he is featuring and highlighting our Parks Department. So Ruben, take it away.
Hi, Mayor. Glad to be here. And I want to also introduce our Parks and Recreation Director, Brett Bentsen, who's been with us how many years, Brett?
11 years now, April 1st.
Wow.
Thanks. It's an honor to be here with y'all.
Well, we are glad to have you as one of our directors. I know we had 24 parks in Mission.
Right.
And we'll tell you a little bit about another one that we are looking forward to work with some partners from our community.
Looking forward to that one. Always need more park space.
That's
Yes.
right. Mm-hmm.
When the mayor asked me to participate in the podcast, I wanted to talk about parks. To me, it's something that parks help so much with the quality of life in our community, health-wise, good family environment that we have on the parks. I love to go see families, children playing. On some of our parks, we have improved on our playground equipment, and it's just like also to see all these trees, and now with our Bentwood Park that we took care of the issue there. I think it's something that it really helps our community, and it's something that we needed very much here in the Valley.
I've always appreciated that about you and my interactions with you, Mr. Plata, because you're really strong. You've always asking questions. You bring stuff to my mind. You come up with ideas, and you come up with suggestions for corrections or have considerations. So I always
and thank you for being
you.
receptive. I know you don't take it as a negative, but that's how we are improving. When I go, I look up what is it. There are people really. What parks? Because not all the parks are visited the same. Some of them.
Yes.
There is a lot of people. I see people 6, 7, 8, up to 9, 10 o'clock. Walking in our Bentwood Park, our Birdwell Park, also our park on Bentsen, South Inspiration. So there is a lot of activity on a lot of our parks.
And a good variety of parks at that.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you describe the different kinds of parks? So we have regional parks, we have neighborhood parks, and what else?
Well,
how can you?
Actually, National Recreation Park Association, they have created a template for us. So we have a regional park, which is a larger park. Regional parks are generally, large acreage, but they have to agree to provide 5 different amenities.
Oh.
And the amenities are broad, but they provide 5 different amenities, whereas a community park, on the other hand, is meant for the community, and then you string it down a little bit lower, and you have neighborhood parks. Neighborhood parks are quiet, cozy, small playground equipment, and generally don't have a restroom. But now with people moving around a little bit more, our neighborhood parks are really turning into community park. So we're looking at installing, in fact, this past year we installed 2 restrooms at 2 of our community parks. And then the other park is a trail, a linear park. So even though it's odd as it may seem, but our Teton Park on First Street is a linear park, but you go out to the hike and bike trail, and even though it's not necessarily linear because it curves around a bit, but it too is considered a linear park.
Okay.
How do we do about the funding? I know that, for example, whenever we had developers that, they start new subdevelopment, some new land subdivisions, we charge a park fee, and some of that money,
Yes.
we also had the city divided into quadrants, right?
Right.
So some of that money needs to be used in that particular quadrant, correct?
Correct. Okay.
So on those that don't have much of growth or new development, how do we fund those?
Yes, you're right. The city is divided into 4 quadrants, and actually 9th Street, or Business 83, is a dividing line with Conway. So you got your northeast, northwest, southwest, and southeast. But for every development that occurs, there's a fee that is assessed. It's Parkland Development Fee, and it's equivalent right now to $550 per dwelling unit. So if you develop a 4-plex, you've got $550 per dwelling unit, so it's times 4. Apartment complex is dealt with the same way. So if you're building a 300-unit apartment complex, that too is assessed the fee of $550 per 300 dwelling units.
Brett, can you tell us what type of improvements do we have on the pipeline right now,
Well, currently, we're doing an in-depth study for Phase 2 for Lions Park. We were all taken by surprise, not by surprise, but Lions Park has exceeded all of our expectations, but we do have additional 6.8 acres to the east side of that park. So we're doing a study and design work for the development for Phase 2 for Lions Park. Beyond Lions Park, we're also looking at Banworth Park. We have developed a leak. You know, that park was, the lake was dug in the early 80s. And anyway, the bottom of the lake has been compromised, so we've been losing water. So we're looking at doing a good study on that. We'll be hopefully starting on that pretty quick this year. But that way we can stop losing water from that lake. And we're looking at changing the shoreline amenities, whether we're going to keep the same pier and just go out into the middle of the lake, or we're going to do small little docks along the edge of the lake. Our tennis center is another such park. Mm-hmm. You know, when we built the tennis center in 2016, we were like, why are y'all spending so much money on a tennis center? And that, too, has surpassed all of our expectations. Yes. I mean, we've got 16 courts out there, and sometimes right now the people are complaining because there is a problem finding courts. Okay. We're also looking at, not looking at it, but this year we'll be doing a revamp of our hike and bike trail. Our hike and bike trail starts on South Conway, and it runs 5 miles along the canal bank back over to complete at Bentsen Park. Okay, so in essence, it's not necessarily a 5-mile trail, it's a 10-mile trail.
That one we're also working with the county, correct, to try to connect and with other, we're going to end up being connected with other municipalities on the bike trail.
Okay. Well, this one with our revamp for the hike and bike trail, we're going to actually do a 2-inch overlay of the existing pavement. Some of the shoulders, the caliche shoulder has been compromised, so we'll be reinstalling more caliche and compacting that. We do have a couple of areas on one side of the trail where the terrain to the east side of the trail is quite a bit lower, so we've got a good part of erosion that's taken place, so we're building retaining walls there. And then we have an issue with the canal bank because due to the drought through the years, it's a lot of the silt that's been deposited on the top side of the canal washes across our trail, so we're doing small retention there, and also we'll be doing hydro mulch. We've got a seed recipe from TxDOT. It's 7 types of wild native grass seeds that we'll be blowing on top of the canal bank there. But you mentioned working with the county. I do know that Ever Villarreal with Precinct 3 has just installed a trail to the northwest of town, and eventually his plan is to connect that trail to our hike and bike trail. And then on the east side is a really exciting one. We're working with Eddie Cantu with Precinct 2, County Commissioner, and that's an exciting one because that trail is actually starting at Mission and Los Ebanos Road, and it's extending 4.6 miles to the east to Taylor Road. It's a 10-foot wide concrete trail. You know, you can't ever appease the runners, the walkers, or the bikers. You know, they don't want concrete, they don't want asphalt, they want caliche. But anyway, this is a 10-foot wide caliche trail. It's 5 to 6 inches thick, and it will accommodate a small vehicle. But that one is connecting into McAllen has completed, and we're just working underneath the thoroughfare, underneath Conway, underneath Bryan.
Tell me a little more about that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It sounds exciting.
It's part of a vision I had years ago, but I won't go into that right now. But Eddie had developed a trail in Farr, and is going along a canalway. Well, anyway, it ventures off and goes into the drain ditch. Embankments of the drain ditch, but ours runs parallel to the Mission Inlet. And anyway, as the Hidalgo County Drainage District has been improving their drainage district, so their ditch isn't a ditch. It's not like a kind of a detention facility. So when heavy rainfall comes, the ditch will fill up until it's able to make its way down south. But anyway, the trail will be on the top side of the ditch. And meandering through, and then when it goes under Conway, goes under Bryan, it goes under Sherry Road, it's going to be lit. It's going to be an awesome trail.
So it's going to be tunneled underneath.
Yes, there were existing tunnels. I mean, find it encouraging but yet odd at the same time that they had the vision to realize they weren't looking for a trail to go underneath there. They were looking for ample supply of rainwater. But anyway, it's a really cool trail. It's going to connect into McAllen. It goes down to the pump house in Hidalgo. And
I think that's going to bring a lot more people. I mean,
Oh,
even
no.
now, I mean, I love to see how there's people that comes to our bike and hike and bike trail from Brownsville,
From all over,
Laredo,
yeah.
and I mean that they
Yes,
come and really, I mean, I think that is something very important. That's why I'm glad that we're paying a lot of attention in trying to improve in our parks. I think that helps when people want to relocate. They look at those things because once again, it's quality of life. So
It is, and I agree with you, and I thank y'all for your support of our trails. Our trail is a destination location. We have events out there. People come down to visit their family, and they bring a bike with them. I mean, we've got, at one time, it was 11 miles of off-road through the cactus terrain, through the mesquites and the ratamas out there. It's off-road trail. It's all dirt. But there is, whenever we do have rainy seasons, just grow up with weeds. But that's when the biking community helps us out quite a bit to help us maintain the trails.
and I think it also helps us to work and to have good relationship with some partners, with business or other community leaders. For example, I mean, we got about $1 million for our all-inclusive park
Yes.
from the state and then
Yes.
the county and
Yes.
you know, because I mean, and all of that helps. I mean, to where we don't put a burden on our taxpayers, but also the Baptist Association help us also with
Yes.
some money for our tennis courts.
Right. They've, since I've been here, they provided $500,000 for the tennis center at Birdwell Park, and also for the trail. They provided $500,000 for that because they do know that it's a healthy lifestyle. We just like, hopefully, when Dr. Nevada's property develops, they'll include more off-road trail because we've lost some of our off-road trail. But it's a dynamic feature that people don't understand.
Well, I do want to say that we met with some tennis coaches, and
Yes.
I mean, we do have a lot of kids, I mean, young kids and adults also taking tennis courses and coaching, good coaches here. And I think we can turn that park into something where it can be more competition. But of course, I know we have something on the plans to improve that park, to probably build more tennis courts and make it very, I mean, I think there's no other one like in South Texas. I think the only one in Harlingen.
Harlingen and Brownsville has
in
one
Brownsville.
also.
That they use them from universities to come and do tournaments.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because, yes, we are looking, we formed a subcommittee to see how we can develop the Birdwell into a bigger tennis courts. Right now, our talks and the plans we're looking at will include construction of 4 more tennis courts to the west. When we grow, we lose in some areas, so we will have to probably take out some trees and also remove. We're studying, see how we can work with it because we need parking space, but we might lose the playground there. But if we do lose the playground, we'll still maintain the trails and extended parking. But we're looking, like I said, we're looking at the construction of 4 more courts. The original 3 courts they're cracked and they're at a slope. It isn't real appealing to play with. But anyway, so we're looking at the possibility to removing and replacing those 3 courts. And at the same time, on like the phase 3 portion of it, we're looking at building a pro shop with an overhead catwalk so they can walk across and look at the different tennis games going on.
Yeah, I know Mayor gave me very good news a couple of weeks ago when she met with a gentleman from the Killens
Yes.
and Groove. They are big developers here in South Sherry Road and all the way to Bryan. That for us to do something about the Pepsi Park, correct, Mayor?
Right, yes, that's
What
right.
do you envision there?
Well, you know, the what we used to call the Pepsi Park was an area at South Sherry that was used by so many people, not just the residents in Mission, but I'm going to say valley-wide. So it's a huge area. It's like 50 acres is my understanding. And so I've talked to a couple of people from the school districts, and they're excited about it because they actually used to hold their 7-on-7 tournaments or play there. Mm-hmm. And so we're in a good position, I think, to partner with the Killams and not necessarily purchase it, but have an understanding or an agreement with them where we would maintain the property and we would have exclusive use of the property. And so I think bringing in soccer, fields would be a great asset. I know we're always looking for areas for our kids to play and practice soccer, and of course the softball fields are there, baseball's there. It was just a great amenity, and I think a lot of us were disappointed when it got closed up, but we're hoping to get that done.
And I think we're doing our part because I just want the public to understand that park used to belong to the Hunts.
That's right.
So, and then, I mean, it slowed down. So it was like they were not very interested in doing something about it. So it was dormant for a long time.
Right.
So then they sold to the Killiams. I mean, they tried to decide what they're going to do. So I'm glad you met with them. And I think this is the time for us to do something about that. I mean, and to start working on the improvements. I think we also talked to our grants department to see if we can get some grants. I would love to see also some tennis courses on that site.
That would be great.
It'd be a win-win situation for everybody involved there.
So I know we're not going to let this go. And this is, to me, I think it's something that I would, Mayor allowed me to. I would like to work with you on that, and we need to go see them in Laredo or something.
Yeah,
I mean, but we need to get moving on that project. I think a lot of the people will be very happy that we rehabilitate that project.
Okay.
Well, I just want to encourage the public to visit all of our parks. Please feel safe. We have patrolling all the time, very well lit up. There's a lot of people in all of our parks, so please feel safe. And it's good to see everything that we have to offer throughout the whole city of Mission. So please take time and drive a little bit to South Inspiration, North Inspiration. We have a very nice park there. And I just love also have people that are on exercising groups. I see a group of ladies, sometimes at 10 o'clock in the morning working out there, doing the Zumba. So exactly. I think it's very good, very good. So thank you. And anything else you want to add before we?
I'd like to invite the public out because, we've not only offered tennis, we've got 3 tennis locations. In total, we have 20 tennis courts. We have indoor pickleball. Even now we're having table tennis coming, and we've got a small group, and I've learned the difference between table tennis and ping pong. Table tennis are those, these guys are going to nationals. Yeah, and they're heavy players, but they want to hew the sport to bring people in, and they're not going to be aggressive with anybody. They want to play with it. But, we've got walking trails in each one of our parks. And, of course, I mentioned earlier, we've got the connectivity trail coming in that will stretch into McAllen. We've got the on- and off-road bike trails that people just love to come to. And we've got soccer fields, we've got ball fields. And a lot of people don't realize it, but we have 2 dog parks.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and so we've got one on the east side of Mission, and we've got another dog park on the southwest side of Mission. And we can't forget, of course, our summer program coming up is starting on June 9th. We'll be offering track and field, tennis, swim, and even archery. But we'd like to invite people to come out and join us and see what all we have to offer.
And I would like to say, the other day, Mayor, I attended about a year ago to tennis tournament of kids with blind.
Yes.
I was so impressed to see that, and so blessed to see that how these kids really enjoy that tournament, how they were really having a great time.
That is amazing. In fact, we have one boy in particular that been watching and allowing them to play, and he doesn't go to nationals. He's in international competition, international. In fact, I know he was one recently in England and got first place.
Yes.
Internationally traveling blind tennis player.
We got great people, great sportsmanship in Mission, Texas.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you, Mayor, for inviting me to this podcast. And Brett, thank you for joining us. And we want to thank the public for listening to us. And please go to our parks.